¿Ya estando la música ya empieza?
I love Micheladas.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Episode number 3 of the I Love Micheladas show. High five.
Boom.
Boom, there we go.
We
did
made
it.
it to number 3.
Yeah, third one. If you make it past the third, you're golden.
Yeah, that's what they say. And the first year of restaurants and the third year of YouTube videos.
In the
Or
third,
third, the third video.
The
Yeah.
third video is
yeah.
just as hard as the first year of owning a restaurant.
I hope that.
Speaking of owning restaurants, we have with us Brittney Valles from
Guerrilla Tacos.
Guerrilla Tacos. All right, so it's Guerrilla, not Guerrilla, right?
Wes says Guerrilla, I say Guerrilla, but we let people say what they want.
Yeah, because I feel like everybody I ask,
Yeah.
every single person I ask says it differently.
Yeah. And I think that that's like so much of like Guerrilla Tacos' essence. It's like, if Wes tomorrow called me and was like, I want to put a burger on the menu, we would do it. And like, that's Guerrilla Tacos. Because it's like, what is guerrilla? What does the word guerrilla mean? It's like informal.
Yeah. It's from the ground up, grassroots.
It's like guerrilla marketing, guerrilla speeches, guerrilla warfare. Is like
Guerrilla warfare.
Yeah, just like no rules.
Guerrilla marketing.
No rules.
My dad has a saying, and he's always like, you know, life is like you're at a bus stop.
Yeah.
The bus comes, you hop on, even if you have the money, maybe they'll kick you off, but you'll be one step closer to where you're going.
Right.
And that's kind of like Guerrilla, right? You just get on and you do it and you hustle.
Yeah.
And you're all about hustle. It's
All
LA
about
right
it.
here.
LA, yeah. LA, loyal to the soil.
Well, first of all, we're gonna start off with you're the second guest out of 3 episodes that don't drink beer, and it's amazing because I Love Micheladas is cool with anything.
Yeah.
And actually, someone brought us Lagunitas with 0 alcohol. 0 alcohol, no alcoholic. Let's try that. We're gonna make a michelada.
Does it taste like beer?
Let's try that.
How many carbs?
You wanna give it a try?
Oh, wow.
It has everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that.
And I'm gonna have a 10-barrel cucumber crush. I'm gonna make myself a cucumber michelada. I'm gonna make you a cucumber non-alcoholic michelada.
This makes me feel cool.
Yeah, right?
It's like,
We're
I
both
don't
drinking
get-
something.
yes,
So
yes.
we're gonna step it up. So in the cup, I put a little bit of cucumber.
Amazing.
Muddled. We're gonna squeeze the lime.
Whoa.
Squeeze the lime.
Whoa.
Shake this up.
Okay, here we
This is how
go.
easy it is. Look.
Maybe I should start drinking. It's so easy.
As seen on TV.
Yeah.
As seen on YouTube. Oh, here.
Oh, shit. I don't know. Obviously. Did I go too
Don't
fast?
even worry about it.
Am I allowed to say?
As seen. Yeah, it's internet.
Yeah.
The 50 people who watch it, they'll be one of them will send us an email.
Yeah.
I can't wait until I get the first email.
That gives me so much anxiety.
Really?
The main reason that like I don't like to do or be around the cameras and the TVs and like Wes does is like people are so freaking mean.
Well, we're here now. Cheers.
Yeah, here we go.
Cheers. Let's see if you like the michelada. You don't have to love it. You just have to try it.
I got shit on my mouth. It's stuck on it. I can't stop.
It's the chili powder. We actually make this ourselves.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. We got a stone mill. It's good, right?
Did you say stolen mill?
Stone mill.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh my god. Did you say
All right. Well, actually, what I want to ask you about is something that came up in the last episode,
Okay.
which is the transition between having a food truck and being like a pop-up culture, being
Yeah.
like very guerrilla, to now you have a brick and mortar
Yeah.
in the corner of
7th and Mateo.
7th and
in the
Mateo.
Arts District.
And I gotta tell everybody, like, if you see me, if you're looking for me, go to
You're Guerrilla. Yeah,
I'm
you're there like
I'm
every day.
yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's the best.
What was the transition like?
Well, so there's like a lot of things to say about that. I feel like what Wes did, because I came into Guerrilla Tacos a few years late after Wes had already done the card and stuff like that, and I would go to the card a lot. But what Wes did to like be a mobile business and like he took his time. I mean, I think probably he told me like within 6 months of like the card opening, somebody was like, oh, I have a space for you and it's awesome and whatever. And Wes was like, well, hold on, and like he took his time. So that I think was like the biggest helper in that we were able to choose the investors we wanted, and like we knew exactly the identity of Guerrilla already. We didn't rush into like, oh yeah, we've been successful for 3 months, let's open a brick and mortar and let's do this. That being said, there was still like a lot that like we didn't anticipate.
Well, I mean, it's a restaurant.
Yeah. Jeez. And we both worked in restaurants before. It's not like we're new to it, but like being the owner and being the one that like is signing the checks and like watching the bank account, just like, and dealing with investors, like, hey, I logged into the bank, just wanted to, and you know.
Just wondering.
Yeah, and like, it's definitely has been different. It was
I've never dealt with investors.
No?
No. What is that? that's a whole nother layer to it, right? Because previous to it, what was life like with the truck?
With the truck, it was so simple. I think we had at the peak we had 7 employees, and like 2 of them were me and Wes. And we didn't really have to answer to anybody. We had a lot of extra money because the overhead is so small, limited amount of employees. We worked like 5 or 6 hours a day, and we did a lot of events and stuff like that. But it was like chill.
Yeah. And more chill now.
More chill.
At the moment, did it seem chill?
It did and it didn't. In some ways, it was like.
So for example,
food trucks break down a lot, right?
Like, where I'm coming from, like someone who has a truck right now.
Yeah.
Right? Would you be like, look, if there's a promised land, or is it like?
Well, there's definitely like the good thing about a restaurant is you just are making so much more money, so you can have more help. On the food truck, like when Wes is getting a call at 6 a.m. like, hey, I'm broken down on like San Fernando Road. Can you come? Like he's the one that's having to get up. Yeah. Now, if somebody's at the restaurant like, oh, I didn't do this or I left my key or whatever, we have like a group of people that could show up. And so that's like the trade-off, I guess. Is like, yeah, now you have 52 employees to help you, but you also have 52 employees. Yeah. Someone's got to pay them. I ask them every week, are you sure you guys want to get paid this week? And they usually are like, yes. So, that's definitely like I guess like the give and take of it all. But like opening a restaurant has been like, if I could do it again tomorrow, like I would. And I feel like I learned so much so fast. And Wes is like the ultimate creative. He is incredibly talented. Like
last time I saw him, he was actually drawing up.
Yeah, and I was.
He's gonna hand make a neon sign.
Yes,
it's amazing.
He did it. It's beautiful.
It's already done?
Yeah, I'll show you a picture. I wanted to get this sign made for like our bar because we're kind of going into late night where we're open until 2 a.m. and like we have street tacos, and I wanted to get a neon that like drew the eye a little bit better because we have like a tiny bar sign. It sucks. And so I picked the sign maker, I sent Wes to go visit him. I was like out of town or something, so I couldn't go. And Wes was like, it's gonna be this much. And he's like, but I'm thinking about taking this neon class and like.
I'll just do it myself.
Yeah, he was like, I'll just do it myself. And I was like, oh my God, like this is, cause it still costs, like a couple $1,000s for like the material and like getting the help. And I was like, in my head, and I probably verbalize this to him because I'm like, a little direct, but I was like, we're gonna spend $2,000, your sign's gonna fail, and we're still gonna have to buy the like, $10,000 sign or whatever. And he was like, all right, give me 5 weeks. And I kid you not, on Friday, I think he sent me a picture of the sign, and I put my foot in my mouth so hard. It was so cool. It like moves. It's incredible.
He was like, look, these lights, these are gonna animate.
Yeah.
There's like all these clips, and he was drawing it light size.
He was. Yeah, you were there. Yeah, it looks great. I'm so excited. I think it's
when is it going up?
I think this weekend.
This weekend?
Yeah.
So by the time this video drops, we'll be able to drive by.
Yeah.
And go into the bar late night.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm shook. And that's what I'm saying. Like Wes like loves to be creative. Like he loves designing the merch, and he loves to like make new menu things. So like, I mean, it blows my mind. Like his taste level, his palate is like very up there. And Wes will be the first person to tell you he's not a systems guy. He's not a procedural guy. And I'm lucky because then I get to do everything. But I'm also unlucky because then I have to do everything.
So is that where you enjoy the systems and stuff?
Yeah, I'm not a chef, so that's like important to acknowledge. I can't like be like, let's put this in the chinois or whatever. Like, I don't know, whatever people say, and like do that for 30 minutes. That's not where I thrive, but it's definitely like getting systems into place and getting people into place to like make things a lot more efficient and like be able to like really drive revenue in the way that we want it, so that it's not just like we're pulling things out of our butt, but we're like, okay, this is working. Why is this working? How do we lean into that? How do we make it more effective and efficient? And that's really where I come in. And there's a lot of work, and we're a small business, and I feel like as we grow, or whatever, opening new restaurants.
As you scale, or as you want to scale.
Yeah. And maybe it's not Guerrilla Tacos or a different concept or whatever. Like, I'll be able to really do what I like to do the best, which is kind of like oversee and like, put things in the right places and stuff like that. Because right now I'm like the accountant. Yeah. I like vectorized some things the other day. Like I just do anything that Wes can't do, I do. Which is, anything computer related or like, so as we scale though, I'll be able to kind of like find the place that like I fit the best. But yeah, Wes is
the biggest thing that like I'm always forever grateful to him is like at 21 years old, you know, he took like a pretty big chance on me to be like, here, have half of my business and help me grow it. And so like whatever he wants to do in his life, I'm just like, how can I support you? Like he wants to travel the world. Okay, great. Let's get Guerrilla going and then go.
Well, so you know that saying where it's like, what is it? Like luck is the transaction, like opportunity and like preparedness or whatever we say. Like where it's like, but so you came upon this opportunity, right? At
Right.
21.
Right.
And some people might be like, oh well, you know, like she had the luck of doing that. But when you look at a reality, you took it upon yourself and then you build upon it.
Yeah.
So what would your advice be? What would your advice be to yourself if you could talk to your 21-year-old self when Wes first talked to you? And he was like, hey, Brittney, I need help with this. What would you, knowing what you know now, tell yourself?
Oh. Well, so let me give you a little bit of like backstory to how we started working together. When I met Wes, I had like this vision of starting a business, and I was gonna call it Beekeepers.
What was Beekeepers gonna be?
It was gonna be like a bookkeeping business for small businesses because that's like what I was studying in school was like accounting and human resources, and I was like a lot and a lot of people needed this help because I just knew a lot of like small business owners at the time, and they would ask me a ton of questions. So at the time I was like getting like
everybody's free help.
Yeah. And then so like when I graduated college, I was like, let me get paid for this. So I started taking on like little clients, and I still had a full-time job. So I started like taking on little clients, and I was like, my rate was like $50 an hour or something like that. And I would like set up like, fucking employee manuals and like, help them do all this stuff and connecting people and stuff like that. And Wes was one of the clients, but Wes like couldn't afford to pay me. He started paying me like $12 an hour.
Will you pay you like in tacos?
No, because I don't really like, no, not at all, because I was just, I don't know why, but he didn't. He never gave me tacos. No, but like he would, he paid me $12 an hour, but I really believed in what he was doing, and I never thought he was gonna be like, hey, like, do you want to be my partner? But like he was, and I was originally just gonna help him with like numbers and food costing, but as I like kind of got into the business, I really like continued to develop it and really shape things and improve things, and he was super like grateful, but also gave me like the autonomy to be able to be like, this is what we need to do, and that's a good characteristic to have.
To like allow people to help you?
To know where you're limited. And I know a lot of people, I've worked with a lot of people that don't know, and they're like, I'm the CEO, and it's like, well, you don't know much. But like to know like I know like I'm not gonna cook. Like don't talk to me about don't come over for dinner. You'll be disappointed. And Wes is really good at that. Wes knows what he's really good at, and he's very confident in it, but he also knows what he's not, and he really lets me like take charge. So that's really good. But going back to your question,
what would your advice be?
I guess it would be to just stay focused on the goal and to not get distracted by being young and dumb. Like sometimes like you want to have fun and you think that like things aren't real or nothing can hurt you, and you make stupid decisions and you get distracted. And I think like that's probably what anybody would say, but like really like if I could just like have gone back and like just buckled down and kept my eye on the prize, like I feel like I'd be a little farther along. I mean, I'm pretty far along, but I feel like I would have avoided some really tough lessons if I would have just.
Tough lessons made you who you are now, though.
Right, that's true. So whatever. And I'm like 26, so I feel okay. I remember like talking to you maybe like 3 years ago at the truck, and you were like, how old are you? And I was like, he's like 23. 23. And you were like, yeah, you're getting to that age where people are going to be like, how old are you? And instead of being like, oh my God, you're so young, they're going to be like, yeah, that's about right. Yeah. You should be doing that. Yeah. So
is it happening finally?
It is and it isn't. That's why I'm trying to get a second restaurant up, because like I feel like if I don't have if I don't have like 5 restaurants by the time I'm 30, it'll happen. So, or maybe 10? How many do you think I need to like avoid? Wes is like, you're not gonna be young forever.
I think with one Guerrilla Taco, you're already there. I mean, like,
you think?
Guerrilla Taco is so special.
Yeah, it is.
And I feel like, like sometimes we might lose sight of what we have.
Right.
What was that other saying? You lose sight of the forest to the trees. Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't have this like textbook of saying. You must have done a lot of research for your senior quote.
All I do is look at quotes, so I can have the projection.
You're like Bumblebee, like the Bumblebee from Transformers. Like he can't talk. He can't talk. So yeah, he just talks in like songs and stuff.
That's cool though. Congratulations.
Yeah,
it's. But you're already doing so much.
Yeah, and it's
Is the not drinking part of it?
I think it helps. I have a lot to say on that. I don't drink. So let me just tell you this.
All right.
I don't drink because, like, growing up, I'm Mexican American. Went to a lot of parties that were ruined by like alcohol and someone ending up in the rose bushes, like, and you know, someone's mom being like, take the kids, and like I mean to be like, okay, come on, look away. And I just seeing that, I was just like, I don't want that at all, ever. And so like I just never really got into it. I feel like lately, in the last like 4 months, so in my life, up until 4 months ago, I'd only been drunk like 3 times.
And in the last 3 months, you went drunk like 20 times.
I've been drunk like 7 times, which is a lot, because I'm 26, and so like maybe 5.
Yeah.
But like I'm trying to like let loose a little bit.
Yeah,
but I
enjoy
don't,
life.
Yeah.
Enjoy what you've built.
And every time I'm drunk, I'm like, oh, I see how people get used
Fall
to
into
this.
this.
Yeah, but I don't like the taste. Like I don't enjoy sipping cocktails. Like,
Not yet.
and I don't like the. I don't really get hungover, but I feel like the next day, like I don't want to work out.
Because you're so young.
Yeah, but
It'll happen to you too.
I don't want to start drinking. So I want, like, you know, I want to stop. I want to take it easy. No more drinking for me.
All right, last thing. What's something you want to plug right now? What's something that's important to you that Guerrilla's doing that you think people should come for?
Well, so we do the late night, which is really exciting.
When did that start?
That started July 5th, I think,
Okay.
yeah. So something that I think is really exciting about Guerrilla Tacos, and it really feeds into like the essence of Guerrilla Tacos, is like there's so much that we do that is like super unconventional. So we're open almost 24 hours a day. So from 7 a.m. to 11
You open
a.m.
at 7 a.m.?
Yeah, for burritos.
Wow.
Yeah. So we do like this side window that's just the burritos.
I haven't done that yet.
It's so good.
All right,
It is so good. Yeah. And a lot of people don't know about it, but like when people know, they're like there every day.
Yeah.
It's so good. So it's 11 to 7 on the Mateo Street side of the
You
business.
got a little window.
It's got a little window. We're getting a sign made that Taco Seidel designed. I love it. And then we are open regularly from like 11 to 11. And then from 11 to 2, we close off the main dining room and open the bar side only.
I've been to that.
Yeah, and then we do like street tacos
Yeah,
and
the trompo out there.
asada fries. Yeah, like it's very late night vibes. And I feel like
A lot of great cocktails.
a lot of great cocktails.
Yeah, but there's a guava passion fruit cocktail that I love.
Yeah,
one's
that's like I think maybe it's the LA Don't Play. Is that
I
something?
think it's LA Don't Play.
Yeah.
It's great.
I don't drink, so I'm like,
Try it out. It's great.
yeah, I swear I've tried them all. But and so we're doing that, and the late night is like it's really fun and really exciting, and I feel like everyone's job at Guerrilla Tacos is to allow Wes to flex whatever muscle he wants to do. And so like burritos are one part of that. It's very casual and like getting people fed and out the door and ready for work. And then the late night is like, let's have a party. But then between 11 and 11, it's, you know, more traditionally Guerrilla Tacos. So I think it's so cool what we do. And we do the pop-ups, like we'll do dinners that are seated course dinners, and we have the private dining room, and people will pay a little bit more for Wes to give like a tasting experience. So it's so cool what Guerrilla does.
How do people find out about this?
We're really bad about that. So people find, and we do the omakase too, by the way, that reminds me, saying how people find out about it.
All right. How do we, is there like a newsletter?
So we don't do a ton of newsletters. We don't want to be annoying.
I know.
We gotta be cool.
I
you
have
know?
the same kind of thing where like I don't want to give out too many newsletters.
Right.
But then everything I read is like, just do it, because at the end of the day, everybody's already so sort of
Saturated,
desensitized
yeah.
to it.
Yeah, so maybe we should. I thought about it today. We do this omakase, which is super cool and so bomb. Like, basically, someone will show up and be like, I want an omakase for 5 people, and Wes will make a 7-course dinner for them.
What's omakase?
Omakase is like, it's like a Japanese slang term for leave it to us.
Okay.
And so on the
People
menu,
show up and they don't know what they're
they don't know what they're gonna
Whatever
get.
Wes says.
Yeah, on the menu it says omakase and it says leave it to us, and it's $75, which for an omakase is not expensive. You leave stuffed, you get like full service, and people that have done it have loved it. And it's rarely any tacos, and it's like Wes flexing that like fine dining muscle he has. It's
How do you guys do
incredible.
that?
It's every Wednesday. I was just talking to Zach of Smorgasburg about it, but it's every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday
Really?
from 6 to 10. So you can come in
people are finding out about it more and more, so they'll call and make a reservation. But
and that's in the side room? Or is it
no, it's in the dining room. Okay. Yeah, people will be like, "Hey, I want to do the omakase," and Wes literally like in that moment is like, "Great, he's just like can do that." I've never seen that. It's pretty incredible. Like him and Steven, his sous chef, are like they just make something, and I'm just like, all right, and it's always so bomb.
It is everything I've ever had from Wes is amazing.
Yeah,
he's a great guy.
And especially when it's omakase, Wes is cooking it himself, so like it's really cool. And like the bigger Wes gets, and you know he's so talented, I know he will. Like it's not going to be something that people can do forever for $75.
It's not scalable.
Right, and so like I would suggest that you come to the Omakase Guerrilla Tacos while you can.
There you go.
Because I mean I really
plug. See, just watch this video. You
yeah.
get all these sort of tips.
Well, I really think that like how much longer is Wes really going to be doing this? You know, and like to get Wes making you food, like it's crazy. It's incredible, and he's so talented. I sound biased, but we fight all the time, so like I have so much to say that maybe wouldn't be biased, but like he is so talented when it comes to food. So Guerrilla Tacos has a lot to offer, I think, beyond what people think. And I mean I don't know how much time we have.
As much time as we we're on YouTube.
Okay, cool. But something I thought of while we were talking was like, and I know Javier wrote an article about this, but like the defense of the $5 taco, right? And lately, Wes doesn't pay attention to Yelp, but I am like all over it, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, what are people saying? And lately, there's just been a lot about like, I know street tacos, and this is not a street taco, or like I have
a lot of weird thoughts about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we're like on opposite ends of the fence about this, but like, I feel like. First of all, the transition from the truck to the restaurant, it was hard for us to sell our tacos at $5, really hard.
I feel like your tacos are steel.
The quality of things that we use made it, oh
and
my
the size
God.
Of them.
Yeah, the size, it was really difficult. We were not doing well.
My dad is one of the pickiest eaters I know. Like he's like a hater, and your tacos are his favorite, one of his favorite tacos. I think probably his favorite.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Wes loves your dad, so that's I mean, it's a good taco, and it's like to go, and people will be like, I'm a Mexican and I know what a taco is. It's like, what is a taco?
Yeah,
like who?
What is a taco? And even what is a Mexican now in LA, right?
Right.
Because it's like you're not really a Mexican. You're a Mexican American who grew up in LA, which is in itself is a very diverse identity.
Exactly, and there's like so many different types of tacos, even in Mexico, like in every region and stuff like that.
Have you watched Taco Chronicles?
Yeah.
Amazing show.
See, because Javier gets it. I feel like he really gets it. He's one of the first people that's really gotten it. Like, and it's super frustrating because like Wes really does put a lot into every taco that comes out in our team, and like so for people to be like tacos should be $2, it's like
my conversation, my perspective on that comes from our restaurant where people are like, oh, Mexican food should be cheap.
Right.
I take that as a cultural offense. I take that as a personal offense.
Right.
As a Mexican, like you shouldn't say that as a Mexican.
Right.
You should be like, yo, our food is worth triple what the plate says because people know how much work goes into it. It's just that, you know, because of the street culture, because I think it's because people that are economically disadvantaged in Mexico are kind of like have been forced to do this, and they do it for so cheap because that's kind of the demographic.
Right.
But they don't realize all the work that goes into it.
Well, and separately of that, like in Mexico, you know, like for example, a sweet potato is gonna be like 2 pesos, which is like it's not even a cent. You know, like it's nothing there. But then like to come all the way here to LA or wherever stuff is, it just gets more expensive. Like every step that you take. We did a pop-up in Mexico City and we wanted to sell this sweet potato taco for like 80 pesos. And the people we partnered with were like, oh my God, you cannot sell a vegetable taco for that much. That's crazy. But it's like, it's
that's
not.
How much it costs.
Yeah, that's how much it costs. And like.
And it's the value of the product. It's the value of the culture. Another favorite quote of mine is that the way people see food is a representation of how they see the culture.
Right.
So if they see Mexican food as cheap, it's because they're viewing our culture as cheap.
Right. Oh my gosh. I went to a restaurant the other day and I got this sweet potato dish and it was really good. It was like, so our sweet potatoes kind of look like, the way we cut them looks like a hamburger patty, I guess. And so this dish was like 3 little like mojos. I don't know if you know Shakey's Mojos Pizza.
You can also find I Love Micheladas Shakey's.
Oh, there you go. Bomb. That's like the perfect combo in my opinion. So like 3 little mojos of sweet potato with like some yogurt and like oil and like some red chili powder or something like that. And it was like $14.
$14 at an American restaurant.
It was it was like an American, New American French, whatever. So like, I was like,
you're serving something like I would say something better than that.
Yeah.
With more more volume
Right.
for $5.
Yeah, and people are
still
so upset. But and Wes says this all the time. If he would have put on a plate and put like a fancy swoosh, like people would pay. And so it is kind of like, you can't, unfortunately, like I wish that things could be cheaper. I really do. I wish that everything could be easier and more affordable. And I think Guerrilla Tacos we try to be as accessible as we can. But at the same time, like we have employees to feed and we have like, it is a business. And like we are doing our best to make our food, which is more elevated or approachable, but it's never gonna be $2. And if you want it to be $2, then expect it to be small and expect the meat to be questionable.
Yeah.
Or like, just a little different.
Mystery meat.
Mystery, yeah. Yeah, so that's, but it's been like on my nerves lately is like, this isn't a street taco. Yeah, are you on the street? No, it's not a street taco. I mean, maybe at one point Guerrilla was more street-esque, but...
Even then, it's always been something
different. Yeah, and it's like, if you want a street taco, Tacos Leo, incredible. Sometimes I crave it. I will go from Whittier all the way to LA just to get it. Or like guisados as well. Like, there's a lot of tacos.
Yeah, you can go to any corner.
My mom's taco, but that's not what a Guerrilla taco is.
Exactly.
So it's like, you want a Guerrilla taco, come to Guerrilla Tacos. You want a street taco,
yeah, go to the street.
Go to the street.
And they're both exceptional quality. I would say street tacos should raise their prices.
Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, that's my. I think all Mexican food should raise its prices.
I feel like street tacos are getting smaller though because it's
and they're getting. When people tell me like, oh, like 50-cent tacos, I'm like, name one place in the last year where you've had a 50-cent taco.
Exactly.
Even $1. I think it's very hard to find dollar tacos anymore.
Because what's Leo? Leo's like $1.75.
I believe it's probably $1.50, $1.75.
Yeah. So like.
Even that.
Yeah, and it's like whoa, like that's like we used to be Lorena. Like that's like our.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm out going too much, just cut me off.
No, we can go as long as we want.
Okay, because I could talk.
I can listen.
Okay, so Guerrilla Tacos is in the space of Lorena. Mm-hmm. This is scandalous. Are we editing this?
No,
again?
It just goes straight. No edits.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so then I want to like ask you if I can talk about this.
You can talk about anything.
Okay. But edit it out if you feel like.
Nope, I don't care. This is that Let Me Tell Us show.
So, Guerrilla Tacos is on the corner of 7th and Mateo. For many years, that was the home of Lorena Taqueria.
Right across from Pizzanista.
Right across from Pizzanista, and locals would they would set up their cart outside and like locals.
And they would use the inside space as dining space.
Correct. And in the day, it would be fully inside. Yeah. And so when we originally were coming into that space, Wes and I had already selected a different space, and we were building out there, and we were approached by the DJ Skrillex, and he was like, hey, I hear that Lorena's losing their lease. I really want to help save this concept. Like, this little old lady, like, she needs help, blah, blah, blah. So Wes and I were really intrigued by that, so we met with him. We went to meet with this lady. The lady gave us the name of the owner. We did all that, and it ended up being that apparently the building was being investigated by Interpol, and as we started to peel back layers, we discovered that they would bring people here from the border, and then they would house them at Lorena. In the back, there were false walls with these makeshift bunk beds, and the bathroom was a shed from Home Depot. And then they would have people work to pay off the debt, all the while earning more debt because they're paying for rent and food. And so it was a really impossible.
Like indenture system.
Yeah. And it was
service.
And it was it wasn't very altruistic. It wasn't like they were come to, it was it was an impossible cycle that these people would get in, and they were kind of imprisoned there. Yeah. And so once Wes and I found that out, we were hey, we don't want to be a part of this. Simultaneously, we lost our space not because of anything. We chose to walk away from it because of power issues. And we were whoa, and if you want to go through with this, Sonny, you can, and we will not, whatever. But we might open 2 doors down, and and Sonny was super nice. He was no, I want to be part of what you guys are a part of. If you're out, I'm out. So then we ended up taking over the space and putting Guerrilla Tacos. And when Guerrilla Tacos opened, we got so much shit about Lorena was everything. This $20 taco does nothing for the culture. Yeah. And I was the culture? Are you serious? Wes and I are so Mexican American. Neither one of us were born into we're not Carlos Slim's children. You know, exactly. Our parents struggled and worked for us to be able to have a better life. We're doing everything for the culture.
You get some very immigrant story.
Yeah, I mean,
like even having born here, so it's like from the very bottom,
right?
Like selling in the street,
right?
I mean, what's selling in the street,
right?
It's not his fault that he chose to do like more elevated tacos.
Yeah,
and he did that from the very beginning.
Right, exactly. And he was like, you know, it's what the city needs. Like, there's so many incredible asada tacos, so many incredible al pastor tacos. The city didn't need that. Like, the Guerrilla Tacos is like, it's Wes's brainchild, and it's so cool. And like, and we do a lot for our culture. Like, we're so involved in like the Mexican American community and the food community, that that really upset me. I mean, like, whatever, it's been like 5 years now. It's been a year. It's been a year. I don't remember the date exactly. But it really, like, I was just like, you don't know what was going on at Lorena before, and then you don't know like how much Wes and I, like, we champion for like Mexican Americans and like our culture and like our culture as Mexicans and as Americans, and especially with what's going on now, like,
yeah, it's insane.
It's insane. It's insane.
So we just gotta all support each other and come on each other's shows.
And like, don't tell me about culture, because no, I mean, like,
so you guys plays all culture. You guys are you guys are amazing local graffiti artists. The whole thing.
We're LA culture because we're born and raised in LA. Like, that is our culture.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's what we.
LA don't play.
LA don't play. That's true.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming on.
Amanda.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You know you didn't drink much of it.
I know, but I'm just like,
right.
neither did you.
I drank. I don't want to go too much over.
Bomb.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.